sorry, y'all. I know your math teacher's cheesy. It's fine. I'm used to it. Whatever. Anyways, how are y'all? Hopefully y'all are doing amazing. Miss Bragg's not gonna do anything cool in this video just because my phone crashed, so I've lost videos. So I'm having to record this morning, so hopefully it's good. Oh my goodness, I'm stressed, but it's fine because we're back with math with Miss Bragg, so that makes me happy. So today you should be doing the fraction and decimal square roots. Remember I told y'all it would look kind of crazy, but you'd get the hang of it, and I know y'all will. So let's just go ahead and jump on into it. Just for a reminder, Thursday you have your memorization quiz. So make sure you are memorizing them, you are studying them, and you're good to go for that quiz, okay? Because that will start you off strong with these next 9 weeks. And I'm not sure what this page goes on because the textbook work that you're going to do after this video goes on page 41, and I can't remember if we glued anything on 40 or not. So don't worry about gluing this down. We'll figure it out when we get there. Let's just dive on into it. Miss Bragg doesn't know what she's talking about. Alright, so finding square roots, fractions, and decimals. I don't think this is going to be too hard for y'all to grasp the concept of. I think you'll be good as long as you do have those numbers memorized that we're supposed to be memorizing. So let's just go ahead and jump on in it with fractions. So first, I want you to ask yourself, how do you multiply fractions? How do we do this? What is that concept behind multiplying fractions? With adding and subtracting, we have to have a common denominator. Do we have to have that for multiplication with fractions? No, we don't. So the answer to that is, when we multiply straight across, remember we could do that CPPOP, which is cross product property of proportion, before we multiply straight across, but ultimately when we multiply fractions, we go straight across. There's no difference. There's nothing that stops that. We just go straight across, and we know that. So let's just go ahead and look at an example because, like I said, I really think you'll be good with fractions. So first, we're wanting the square root of 9/16, okay? So remember we said when we see this symbol, we want to know what times what gives us the radicand, which is the number inside, okay? So first things is we want to look just at the numerator, okay? So first we want to look at the numerator. So our numerator in this first one is 9, okay? So let's think about it like this. What times what gives us 9, okay? Hopefully you know that the square root of 9 is 3. So we know 3 times 3 gives us 9. And then the second one, we're going to look at the denominator. In this case, our denominator is 16. So we want to know what times what gives us 16. So again, you can take the square root of 16, which hopefully you know is 4. So 4. And then that is your answer. So we leave the answer as a fraction, and then we're good to go. To test it to make sure we're right, we could go up to the top and do 3/4 times 3/4. 3 times 3 gives us 9. 4 times 4 gives us 16. And that is the same, so we know our answer is 3/4. Again, like I said, didn't think it'd be that challenging for y'all, just because y'all know this stuff. So go ahead and look at 1 and 2 on your own. All right, pause this video if you need to so you can do the answers, and then the answers will be on the screen. The answers are on the screen. Hopefully that is what you got. For number 1, you got 1/10, and for number 2, you got 2/5. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to decimals. So looking at decimals, decimals are kind of scary of numbers just because we have to remember the rules with multiplying decimals. So that's what we're going to come to right now, is how do we multiply decimals? You multiply like normal. You multiply the numbers together, and then however many decimal places you had, if you had 1 in the first number and 2 in the second number, you would count a total of 3 decimal places. And then you would move your decimal to the left 3 times, okay? So hopefully you remember that. As we go through this example, it will come back to you, okay? So let's go ahead and jump in it and look at example number 1. We have the square root of 2 and 25/100ths, okay? So this is what we're wanting the square root of. Remember, we're looking at that radical. When we see the radical, we want to know what times itself gives us the radicand, which is that number on the inside, okay? So first thing we do is we want to remove the decimal. All right, so we want to remove decimal. So the first thing you do is remove that decimal, okay? So let's look at this. We want the square root of 225. Hopefully y'all know what the square root of 225 is because you know what times itself gives you 225, and that answer is 15, okay? So the answer to this would be 15. However, 15 times 15 doesn't give us that 2 and 25/100ths. So we need this 15 to be in some kind of decimal form, okay? So we got to decide, where does that decimal go, okay? But we also have to keep in mind that it has to be the same number, okay? So if we left the decimal at the end, that would still be 15 times 15. Okay, and that still gives us 225. So let's try the decimal in the middle. Okay, so that's 1 5/10. Well, 1 5/10 times 1 5/10. Remember, you would multiply by normal. You would forget about the decimal. So you would just still do 15 times 15. Well, 15 times 15 gives us 225. But then we have to account for our decimal places. In this case, we have 1 here and 1 here. So 1 plus 1 gives us that 2. So then we have to move our place value 2. So 1, 2. And that gives us 2 2500ths, which is what was in the radical. So our ultimate answer is 1 5/10. Okay, so like I said, it's kind of easy. As long as you remember those perfect squares, you'll be good to go. There are 3 examples. Go ahead and try those on your own. Pause this video because the answers are about to be on the screen. All right, so your answers are on the screen. I hope you got those right. Hopefully this is clicking, and I hope you're doing great. Remember, if you have any questions, you can call me on the Teams app. You can email me. You can remind me. Get in contact with me. You know, I'll be happy to help. Good luck, you guys. And P.S. the textbook should be emailed to you shortly. It is the PDF version. So you should be good. Go to that page and complete problems 14 through 25. Good luck.